Yo runners, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on this video and watching it. Thank you for all the comments, likes, subscribes. Keep those coming on in. I want to grow this running community and just make it something that we could all have awesome time talking about running and just bring our passions out. So keep the subscribe, the likes, the comments coming. I like hearing them all. So this is an exciting day today. Before we go over the gear that we are running in, I want to tell you a little bit about the workout. So as you all know, once a week is a speed/tempo run, high intensity workout, and today's the day. I'm not a fan of these workouts, but they are on the schedule. We have to do them. So we have a tempo run today. So all in all, roughly about 10 miles to an hour and 30 to an hour and 40 minutes that we're going to be out here on the road today. I'm doing this workout, and I picked the road because I wanted it to be flat with not having too much different kind of movement. Different kind of terrains like potholes, things like that. I wanted it to kind of be relatively flat so I can really focus on this workout here. So let me explain the workout before we get into any of this gear that we are rocking today, because we have a very, very exciting piece of new gear that I need to explain. So we have a tempo run, 3-mile warm-up, 2 15-minute on intervals, and that pace is going to be, that pace or effort is going to be around half marathon pace/effort. Then we have 2-minute recovery jogs in between that, and then a 3-mile cool down. So super excited for this workout. I like pushing the half marathon pace. Y'all know that I've been really focusing in on that this year, and I'm really trying to get my half marathon pace kind of consistent, pace or effort kind of consistent. So that's what we're working on. Let's start with some of the gear. So got the Under Armour shorts on, got the Indingy toe socks on, and we just have a Cam Hanes Keep Hammering sports shirt, tech shirt on. We are rocking the Salomon Advanced Skin 12. I'm gonna get this name wrong all the time. So the reason why I wanted to run with that is if I am gonna be using that for trails, for half marathons, for full marathons, I want to get used to the weight and the bounciness of the pack with a higher intensity like pace. Heart rate straps, I don't really show heart rate straps. Little history about running technology with me. When I first started running, didn't have a watch, then got the Garmin Fenix 7X, the sapphire crystal solar one. From there went to Coros, got the Coros watch, the Coros foot pod, and the bicep band. Used that one for like 6 months, then went back to the Garmin Forerunner 265, and then I had the Garmin Forerunner 265, and then the Fenix 7 that I go back and forth on. But for heart rate straps, we are back to the Garmin chest strap. Now, I am not a fan of chest straps, to be honest with y'all, because it does leave a lot of irritation, a lot of rubbing. So I do use some lubrication when I put this guy on. So if you are going to use it, I would say to avoid chest chafing, make sure you put some lubricant on. So that's what I'm using. But the piece of exciting gear is the shoes. So we have a brand new shoe on this channel that we have not tested before. It's a little sneak peek right there, but this is a smaller company. As you all know, I'm really enjoying these smaller company shoes, Ultra, Topo, Mountain Coast, all that kind of stuff. This company is Speedland, so as you guys know, focused really heavily on the trail running shoe when the company first started coming out. Then they partnered with Under Armour and made the Infinite Mega, which has blown my mind. Y'all know I love that shoe. And now we actually have their own signature shoe, the Speedland RX CCD. This is the Cocodona 250 variant, Cam Hanes collaboration here. So got that BOA lock system. Really cool with this lock system is right now it's open, so easy to slide your foot through. Click it in, ready, hear this? That means it's locked, and then you tighten it to tighten down the shoe. Difference with BOA with this one is you could actually back it off a few clicks to loosen it up. Usually with BOA you have to untighten and then retighten again, pop it out, pop back in. The outsole does have a good amount of full coverage rubber. Not really meant, I wore this thing for walking around, so I walked around on some slippery rocks out here. Really not meant for that. Obviously I put it in a little bit more intense environment where it shouldn't be. This is their first ever road shoe, so we are testing it on the road actually. Got a really nice upper, really good toe guard here, so any rocks that come up. But the cool thing with this shoe is they're one of the few companies that are using uncompressed, what do they call it? Uncompressed FCF foam. So as far as what that means is it just feels very good. That's really what it means to me. 7mm drop. I'll put the specs all up on here somewhere, whether I'm running or now. I'll put it somewhere in this video, but 7mm drop, so a little bit millimeter drop less than the Mountain Coast. It looks like a really tall shoe. It looks like a really unstable shoe, but wearing it for walking around, there is a really wide platform down here, so not as unstable as we think, but this is a really cool looking shoe, and I'm really excited. The cool thing is the insole, right? So the insole, very thick, very padded. But the cool thing with Speedland that most people don't know is they're the first shoe that you could integrate a removable carbon plate. So this plate kind of wraps around this little nub right here and kind of spins into place, gives a little bit more rigidness in the shoe itself. If you want to run with a little more flex and feel, remove the plate, and the plate is easy to get removed. You just kind of unscrew it a little bit and then just tug it right out. So this is the cool thing with this shoe, is it does have that removable plate. It is a rigid carbon plate. So because we are doing some tempo work today, I figured might as well keep the plate in, and a way to put that in again is you just kind of put it in just like so, and then kind of twist it into its spot. I'm still getting used to it myself. I'm scared I'm gonna rip this little nub right out, but once it's in there, it does add a little bit of rigidity to the shoe. So let's get out there, let's get some miles in. I'm still debating if I should use a carbon plate or not, but maybe I just want to get a feel for the shoe first, or maybe I'll just do like the intervals with it. So do the 3-mile warm up, come back, do the intervals with the plate. I'm not too sure yet, so we're gonna find everything out. Let's go, let's stop procrastinating, because the more I wait, the hotter it's gonna get, and then I'm not gonna want to be out there. So let's go get it done. Come on, y'all, let's go. All right, y'all, so here's my thought process, quick little update. I decided for the first warm-up, the 3 miles, to not wear the plate, put the plate in for the intervals, and then plate out for the cool down, just so I can get a kind of an idea how both feel, so I can give you guys a little bit of a well-rounded kind of first impressions of the shoe. So I'm gonna get started with the warm-up, and let's go. Yo, what's going on, runners? So happy I brought my cooling towel with me because it heated up really quick. So picking this beach path was great because there's water fountains that I can drench my towel in, and then put it under my hat to keep my core body temperature at least a bit more comfortable, which in turn will hopefully not let the body work so hard, which make recovery a little bit easier. So, but ooh, that was loud. Update on the Speedland RX CCD. So far, just 1.5 miles in, or just over 1.5 miles, I should say. We are feeling good. It is the foam is very lively, and I'm running without the plate right now, and the foam is very lively. It compresses, has a lot of bounce. Definitely feels like a mixture between Puma Mad Max and Super Blast 2. It's like a in-between shoe, where in my personal opinion, I think the Super Blast 2 is a bit firm, and then the Puma Mad Max is a bit bouncy. This is like right in the middle. Like, I can compress the foam, but it springs back up pretty good. So really pleasantly surprised with that, and I can see why people are wearing these for ultras. They are comfortable. The toe box isn't like ultra company wide, like a Topo, like roomy, but it's roomy enough where I don't feel my toes hitting against the side. It is much more roomier than the Infinite Mega. As far as the weight of the shoe, it is heavy. It's not a light shoe by any means, but you don't feel it as you're running, especially once you get into it. Rocker feels good. This is all around a really good shoe. It's a blend of, I want to say, two of the best max cushion shoes out in the market, Puma Man Max and Super Blast 2, blended together into one shoe. Also, a really good like mileage. Like I wore it the other day for like a 10-mile walk, and really good, just well-rounded shoe. But don't have a problem with the fit. BOA lock system looks good, feels good. Took me a little bit to get dialed in, but now that I'm dialed in, I feel good. But yeah, warm weather running. Little tip, buy these cool rags. My sister got them for me for the holidays. Buy them. Then she got them on Amazon. It's like a pack of 8. All you gotta do is just soak them with water and they stay cool. So I'm hoping that that will, like I said, keep my core body temperature a little bit cooler. So yeah, but this is the embracing a fall marathon, is embracing the summer training. All right, y'all, come on. Let's stop. The talking is me trying to prolong the intervals, but those are gonna happen very, very soon. Luckily, there's only 2. All right, y'all. All right, runners, soon we're going to be doing the intervals. I just put the plate in the shoe to kind of give you some reviews or initial thoughts with the plate in. With the plate out, like I said, super bouncy. I could definitely feel now with the plate in, I do have a little bit more rigidness in that shoe, so definitely will be able to hopefully hold the pace. Just also took a Morton Gel 100, so hopefully that will be enough to get me through, because I'm a little hungry right now. So 2 15-minute intervals at a, I'm thinking about rocking like maybe an 8:45 to 9 minute per mile pace. So that's what we're gonna look to shoot for today. It's hot, so got the cool rag back on, drenched it a little bit, and still got the pack on because I want to simulate what it will be when I'm in race day. So let's get going, and we'll get you some reviews maybe on the 2-minute recovery jog, or before I started. What I should have did was put the plates in my pack so I didn't have to come all the way back here, but it is what it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the intervals, and then I'll put the plates in my pack and then run it, the cool down without it. So let's get All right, y'all, first 15-minute interval, pace of 8:13, did about 1.5 miles. Good push, super hot. So now we're just on the 2-minute recovery, which I wish was longer, and then we got another 15-minute interval left. So maybe that 15-minute interval isn't gonna be as intense, because I feel like the higher 8, like the 8-minute flat, is more of my like ending of a half marathon pace, which I could probably hold. So I like to split my half marathons up in 2 10Ks. for the first 10K, chill around 8:40, and the next 10K, 8 minutes. So that would be technically my training right now. That would be the second half of the 10K. And then I'm gonna kind of keep the pace a little bit more chilled here. So I want to try to test a higher, more intense half marathon pace and a more quote unquote comfortable half marathon pace. All right, so 17 seconds left. Put the camera away and let's rock. Yo, runners, what is going on, y'all? Congrats. Ooh, this tempo workout was a tough one. The heat, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that's US. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but I'm too tired to do that conversion, so. Whew. Hit exactly 10 miles, which is what the workout was planned for. 2 15-minute intervals. The first 15-minute interval was at a 8:13. Actually, I'll just look it up. Give me 1 second. I just ordered my lunch. Okay, so let's see. Whew, boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got the first interval was at an average pace of 8 minutes, and then the second interval was an 8:20. So between, it was basically, that was, the distance was, the first interval was 1.88 miles at 8 minutes, and then the other one was 1.80, so bringing the full thing to 3.5 miles, just over 3.5 miles, with an average pace of 8:09, which is crazy. That was awesome. The second interval felt a little bit easier than the first interval for sure, but we rocked out with the Speedland RX CCD shoe here. All in all, a very, very good shoe. I really liked it. There was a lot of things that worked well. The traction was very good. It was very comfortable. I mean, I felt like you could definitely go the distance in this shoe, and I could see why they wear it for ultra marathons. A lot of comments I've been reading about this shoe is like, oh, they just partner with runners and it's not really a running shoe. It actually is a really good running shoe for that marathon and beyond distance. I mean, it's good for all distances. I feel like it's a little heavy for the 5 or 10K, but it's got enough bounce and plushness in there for the half marathon. If you throw in the rigid plate, now you got a really good 10K, 5K racer. And this is why I like the shoe. I forgot to say this in the beginning of in the intro. It's an expensive shoe. Like I said, the stats were already showed up. I'll put the price in there too. But it's a kind of like a 2-in-1 shoe, right? You could wear it just as an everyday trainer, take out the plate, or you could put the plate in, and now you got more of a rigid, more responsive race day shoe. So what I did was the intervals, as y'all guys already know because you've seen the video, I put these guys in, and then for the warm-up and cool down, I rocked it without it. And did I feel a difference? Absolutely, yes. I did feel more rigidness, more quote-unquote stabilization with the plate. Not a stable shoe. It's not a stability shoe, but I did feel a little bit more you know, you had that kind of platform. Taking the plate out, you did feel a little bit more bounce, a little bit more, I want to say a little bit more life. I felt a little bit more life with the plate. I felt a little bit more rigid. It was definitely a huge difference in there. And this is a really, I mean, this is a really rigid plate. I feel like I can snap this thing. And if this is what is in race day shoes, now I understand why we get so much energy return. It's pretty cool to see it actually out of a shoe, and to see it, like, it's super lightweight. I did notice though with the plate in there when I took it out, so when I was done with my intervals and I took it out, which basically means I ran about 3.5 miles. I ran over 5K with this plate in my shoe. And when I took it out, I could tell you the plate was very, very warm to the touch. So I just put it in my Salomon pack and ran the rest of the way without them. But really, really cool. They got some rigidness to it, man. Like, I'm gonna say, like, if you really want a race day shoe, it's a good shoe, just toss the plates in there. As far as for me, if I was gonna wear it for a half marathon or a marathon shoe, I would just wear it without the plate. I think majority of my running is gonna be without the plate in this shoe. Speed day, speed workouts, sure, if I wanna try to PR a half marathon, maybe. But I really feel like without the shoe, without the plate, it's a really good shoe. The foam, like I said, just has so much characteristics to it. It's bouncy, it's got this kind of compression and pop to it. Makes you feel like you're literally just bouncing on this shoe. It just feels really, really good. I really enjoyed my miles in this shoe. I will say, like, pretty much the first 2 miles, I noticed the weight of the shoe, and then after that, it just kind of disappeared. After my second interval, after my second 15-minute intervals, I stopped. I took the shoe off, took the plate out, put the insole back in, and then obviously ran without the plate. And it's just, look how much squish this thing has. Look at that. It's got the squish, but you can see that I was kind of working hard to get that squish. So it's got these characteristics to this uncompressed midsole here that is just a fun ride. It's just fun. I said it in the video, it's a mix. It's right in the middle between a Super Blast 2 and a Puma Mad Max. It's got the comfort, it's got the width. I want to say it's not as, the Super Blast I feel like is a bit more narrow, and this fits very, very true to size, but also true to the Puma Mad Max. So those of you who have run the Puma Mad Max, you're gonna feel that same characteristics of the shoe. Very breathable upper. It didn't feel really warm. Feeling my socks like this, it's not, my feet don't feel super hot. They do say without the plate, you do feel a little bit more flex in the shoe. It wasn't at all like, it's not like a barefoot shoe where it's flexible. It still has a little bit of, you know, kind of rigidness to it, even without the plate in there, right? So it really has the same characteristics as a Super Blast and Mad Max blend together. And then I feel personally, when I slapped the plate in there, this plate, the shoe that it made it feel close to was the New Balance SC Trainer, the one that's out right now. What is it, the V3? But that plate is a bit more compliant, a bit more soft, it's a bit more rigid, but it had that feeling like that shoe. I'm just trying to relate to shoes that maybe people have in their running rotation. But traction really well. The BOA lock system did feel like a little bit of numbness as I was running, so just had to click it off a few clicks. Definitely do not crank this BOA system down. It does take a bit more to like adjust and to get that fit dialed in, but once you get it dialed in, it's a really good fit and feel. The guys at Speedland, I know, have a really good attention to detail. I didn't really have anything on the first run, 10 miles in the shoe, that I did not like. I did feel when I put the plate in, I did feel a little bit more pressure on my Achilles, did feel a little bit more, you know, a little nagging pain there, but it went away very quickly, so I don't know if it was just my foot, again, adjusting to the plate. I don't really run with plated shoes, so, but all in all, a really good looking shoe and a good feeling shoe, man. This is a really good shoe. And there is the trail shoe. I think they have it as a GX. I also have that one too. I just haven't, you know, those are more for technical trails and maybe for that. Oh, before I forget, I did sign up for a trail race at the end of this month. I forgot to say in my other videos, my first ever trail race. So I will be probably wearing those for that trail race, a bit more technical. So all in all, the road shoe, Speedland for your first time in a road shoe, really, really good. Coming from a, you know, I run roads more than I run trails. So coming from a road runner, a really, really, really good shoe. Soft, compliant, bouncy, fun. The plate in there has a little bit of rigidness. I felt a very small difference with or without the plate, y'all, so just keep that in mind. You do get the plate though with the shoe, so it's not something you gotta buy separately. It does come with the shoe. Easy to pop in, easy to pop off. So if you guys are doing like any sort of interval work like I am, and you want to pop it in for the speed work and then pop it out for the recovery, feel free. It's very, very easy to do. But all in all, Speedland, really good shoe. Y'all, that is it. Let me know if you have any questions. Did the whole run today with the Solomon pack and everything, just to feel what it would feel like to pick up the pace with my gear on, and everything just felt really good besides it being really, really hot. The MVP of the day, this cool towel, this cool rag. Wet it and forget it. Luckily here there's a lot of water fountains, so I was able to kind of every like, I want to say 30 minutes or so, get it nice and soaked. So definitely kept me cool, made it feel a little bit more tolerable out there. Y'all, that is it. Anything else that I forgot to say? Not really. I'm trying to find a bit longer of a selfie stick. I'm so sorry, these running videos, you're not really getting good angles of the shoe. The problem is the other selfie stick that I used to use does not fit in the vest, so have to go and find a better selfie stick for the GoPro. But otherwise, that's it, y'all. To the next run. Go get those miles in. Enjoy the run. Enjoy being outside. Catch y'all later. Peace.